Not getting that time.
In your synopsis.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark summer movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark summer movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark summer movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I didn't catch it.
Ew.
I know. You
How's
weren't supposed
everybody
to see
doing
that.
today?
You just licked your mug.
supposed to
We
be
licked it hard.
But these
Not that
mugs are
hard.
great.
Yeah, check
These
these
mugs
things.
are
I mean,
great.
come on.
A couple of things we're just teasing out there.
That's right.
Some new mugs.
People are going to be able to get these?
Some
Where
new.
can you buy these? We haven't
Nowhere
told you
yet.
We
Nowhere
haven't
yet.
told you yet. But if you're watching on Philo, you're going to see. Aaron,
I'm
go
wearing.
to 2
I'm
if
wearing.
you
A,
could.
oh yeah, go to 3.
Back to
But then
shit.
also,
Back to 2, thank you.
then go to
Yeah,
2.
there you go.
And I'm wearing this. Is
Oh,
new.
Man, look at
yeah.
So some new stuff that we're
cozy.
teasing out there.
Coming down
Maybe
the
some.
pipeline.
Maybe double deckers have already gotten their hands on some
Maybe
stuff. I don't know.
even
Why would we release
early-
Christmas stuff already? It's
Yeah, that's
really odd.
ridiculous. I
we
will
would-
say this Trace and Rig in the morning shirt. I mean, mug.
Yeah,
Mug.
This tiny little mug here.
A lot of people know what Trace and Rig in the morning is too. That's the best part. This is
It has stood the test of time.
Yeah, it really has. Have they had an episode in forever? No, but is it great? Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're still doing the show
I
every day.
think
You
we
just don't
need-
get them off.
Yeah, we need to
Pirate
get
radio
a
style,
new
yeah.
one. There's a couple of them available on the double decker feed, but
There
I
are.
think
Yes,
there
yes,
hasn't
yes.
been one in a minute. So
Yeah, in a
maybe
few minutes,
maybe we
that's right.
should try to get our paws on a couple of those new ones.
When it was just you and I in the studio, we would randomly
goof. Just
find
goof.
this kind of stuff.
We just goof.
Yeah, we had work that needed to be done, and that never stopped us.
That never stopped us at all.
no.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. It is Tuesday, the last Tuesday of August.
We
Amazing.
made it.
Hurricanes are just coming.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. We are still plowing through over here, talking
plowing through,
talking
too.
about
Sure.
Napa Ever After. Very excited. We are only, assuming that everything happens how we suspected to happen. Only a couple weeks away from getting the Christmas movie schedule. Very excited about that, and you better believe we'll be doing an emergency episode breaking those down.
Oh, we all of
the
course.
day that it
I mean,
comes
last
out.
year you were in Mexico,
And it didn't stop me.
stop you.
I was on a trip without kids, and I said, "Hey, wife, I know we've come down here to Mexico for a nice, relaxing week.
But the schedule.
Pause.
Yes.
I gotta
schedule.
go. I gotta talk
Yeah.
about Hallmark with my friends.
Of course you did.
So very excited about that. It just feels like it's just right around the corner. Fall movies kick off next week. We've got our September preview show kicking off tomorrow, I believe, is when that episode will come out. So
Yeah,
very
sure.
excited about that.
So cool.
Pumpkin spice. Has everybody partaken? I've had a pumpkin spice. Aaron, have you had a pumpkin spice yet, or some pumpkin adjacent?
I've only had the pumpkin spice creamer that is in our office fridge.
That's a no.
Did you put that in there?
Yeah,
in your
in my
Trace and Rig in the morning mug?
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I'm just living my fall life over
Yeah,
here.
I should have. I should have
I
had you do
asked
that. I
you.
know, and I forgot that we had that. I forgot we had that. That's on me.
That's on her.
That no. Okay.
She had it in her
No,
hand.
I'm not let you do this today. Brian, have you had a pumpkin spice?
I haven't.
Okay.
Not yet.
No.
Dan, you have anything?
Are you kidding me?
Pumpkin cream
The
cold
last
brew.
3 days, it's been over 100 degrees.
yeah.
I've had a Corona with a lime in it, like you're supposed to do in the summertime. Like, this is absurd. Like, let's just pump the brakes here.
I don't know how you live in such
Pumpkin spice
misery.
pump the brakes.
You live in such misery. You don't let your
Let
childlike
yourself live.
wonder just overtake you. You're like, I gotta suppress it. I gotta suppress it. I'm a man. I wear a black shirt.
I'm not suppressing anything.
You're suppressing it hard.
I talk
Put on
about
your
Christmas
crop top
movies
and
for a
live your
living.
life.
Begrudgingly.
No, I love my job. It's wonderful.
Then
Isn't
get
it
a pumpkin
begrudging?
cream cold brew today.
Then
do it.
That's
do
That
it.
is not
No,
a
do
great
it.
syllogism.
Do it.
No, now you're just being a bully.
You're a little.
You guys review
no.
the podcast. Brain's being a bully again. If he likes what he likes, I don't ask him to change. I say that I like something a certain way, and he's just trying to bully me into his way and conform to what he wants me to do. That's bullying.
It's not bullying.
Review 5
it's not,
stars except Brandon's bullying.
It's not bullying when you're
I
encouraging
love this podcast
some.
so much aside from Brand, who's so mean and tries to bully others to do things his way.
It's not bullying
He
when you're
called me names and talked about my appearance in a negative way.
when you're encouraging
Bullying.
someone to live
Bullying.
a better life. It's not bullying.
It's a tough
It's
one.
not like
a
I'm
gray
like-
area.
Really?
Yeah.
What you think is a better life,
No, what is
objectively. Now you're all
factually.
bullying. Aaron's getting in on it. Unbelievable.
Those are the rules. We don't
I
have
don't feel very safe in the workplace.
Go ahead, Aaron.
A pumpkin cream cold brew is a perfect beverage to have.
It's a
on
perfect
a
beverage.
hot day.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to get there.
day.
Because
I'm gonna get
one,
there.
it's cold, and two, it
Pumpkin.
gets you into the fall mindset, which makes
it's
you
100
feel
degrees.
feel cooler. It's
Yeah.
like you think about winter.
I want to be clear. The temperature of it is not all of it. It's also the pumpkin of it. Like, and Nicole is in the chat right now. She says, "I'm with Dan. It's summer. Put the pumpkin away." Exactly.
Emily's also with you.
Can I tell you something? You know when this season starts? It starts on September 12th. That's when it starts. Do you know why? Not because of an equinox or whatever. It's because Wendy's has a pumpkin spice frosty.
Okay.
And if I'm not getting that the first day it's out, because it's middle of September, now we're talking. That's when we release this stuff. Summer's got like 8 or 9 days left in it. Okay, great. Pumpkin spice frosty, bring it. It's August. It is literally too hot to swim outside. And you guys are like, you had your pumpkin yet? You had your pumpkin yet? Stop it.
Yeah, the pools are really hot.
It's absurd. the
pools
water
are
at the
too
pool
hot.
is 91 degrees.
Is that a new item? A pumpkin spice frosty?
Yes, never been
Brand
released. Coming out September 12th.
Does that intrigue you?
And
Brad?
you would think Wendy's
Yes.
is a sponsor, promo code DECK at checkout. It's not.
Try it anyway.
We're just here to tell you I cannot. That is happening. I
Go
believe
live for
that.
that too.
That's a Tuesday.
Last
Try
year,
and stop me.
Culver's had a pumpkin milkshake that was really good. So I love pumpkin. I
Yeah.
love pumpkin.
I'm here for it when it's time. Yeah,
Whenever you say it's time.
that's right. For me,
September 12th. Is that
it's
what you
okay
said?
if you want to get pumpkin stuff now, but you taking a poll of the office to be like, well, why haven't you yet? That's the bullying. You enjoy all the pumpkin you
It's
want.
not
I'll
bullying.
just take that apology through. You can write it,
Text it.
You can text it. Any way
Voice
you want to
memo.
apologize is fine by me.
Into that little microphone.
Speaking of reviews, thanks to Dramamon3 for leaving a review that said, Brandan and friends are so much fun to listen to. The bits, the banter, the guests, they're all amazing. I've laughed so hard, I've cried. Happy tears.
Happy tears.
Had absolutely, I had the... She had a good time. That's what it
Sounds
is.
like it.
Had to.
Sometimes you get stuck. Leave a review. We love reading
We
them.
do.
It means a lot. It means a
3,000
lot.
by the
Call that
By
right.
the end of
September 12th.
2030.
2030. Got it.
By the end of 2030, I
summer.
think we might be able to make it by then. A quick reminder, Napa Ever After is what we're talking about. If you didn't watch it on Philo, why? Go ahead and get your philo.tv/DTH on, sign up, and then you can DVR all the fall movies that are coming up, and then all the Christmas movies. It's really, this is the perfect time if you don't already have the Philo to get the Philo, because it's
Yeah.
only going to get better from here. The fall, the Christmas,
Unlimited
your Deck the
DVR.
Hallmark,
Come
Philo
on.
Deep Dive, a show that Dan and I do every week,
best.
talking about fun random TV shows. It's a lot of fun. So philo.tv/DTH. You guys ready to talk about Napa?
Oh, yeah.
Ever
Napa,
After?
know how. Not that Napa?
Go get ready.
Kinda
Go
that
go again.
Napa.
Napa,
Napa know how.
That's really good.
One more time.
Napa know how.
Come on, Brian. Ready?
Napa know how. You're not in it. Your heart's not in it.
Yeah,
Your soul's not in it.
I can
You
tell.
feel
You're saying it, and you're saying it, but your eyes
like
and
I
your
need some
heart
pumpkin spice.
aren't in it.
All right.
Ready? Napa know how. Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what
Way
happened.
better.
You've never gone high before.
Way better.
It worked.
Way
And it
better.
was so much better. You
see?
just need to believe.
You dug in.
always go low because you
found
don't
it
believe
your
in
soul.
yourself.
You found it in
You
your
guys pumped
soul.
me up. Felt right.
Napa know how. Man.
Oh.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly's.
August 26th,
Again. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
2023, a little something like this. The vineyard is popping due to a wedding. That's great. And a little girl named Cassie is talking to her grandma. They're putting names on corks and stuff. It's the family vineyard, and one day it's all gonna be Cassie's, except it's not, because the family appears to be leaving. Some family drama is causing Cassie and her parents to leave the vineyard. She's never going to come back there ever again. Cut to present day in San Francisco. You guys remember Rice-A-Roni?
Oh yeah. San Francisco
I
tree.
can't forget it because you bring it up anytime anyone says San Francisco.
It's a San Francisco treat, Dan.
It is.
How do you possibly hear the name San Francisco and not think about the treat
How do you talk about
that
one?
goes along with
Yeah.
San Francisco?
Felt the other,
You
yeah.
think about New York, you think of apples. You think about South Carolina, you think about
Pumpkin spice.
San Francisco, you think about
Sourdough.
rice-a-roni.
Rail cars.
The
said
San
that
Francisco treat, and Homeward Bound 2.
the Deuce.
The Deuce. Okay, so she's in San Francisco. She's a
Brony
hot
check.
shot deal making attorney, but she
Napa
also
no
still
house
knows
check.
her wine. Her friends are begging her to take her to Napa. Napa no how. But she explains that she
I ain't
hasn't.
going to Napa. No way, no how.
She is begging her to take her to Napa, but she explains she hasn't been there in forever since her family left. But as they're talking about this, it's as if her grandma's ears were burning and she died because she gets a call and her grandma
burning
has passed away. And so she needs to head to Napa ASAP. But before she leaves, she finds out that she's made partner.
Hey.
But then she gets another call. Her grandma has left her the vineyard. It is hers. This is great news. So she goes and drives down, and on the way down, gets a flat tire and fixes it herself. And a random guy walks up to her on the way. I'm good. That went on too long. A random guy is like, hey, do you need any help? And she's like, no, Napa know how. I am good to go. So she gets to the vineyard and she's bothered by how beat up it is, how it seems like it's really just gone by the wayside. It's a mess. And so she decides that she is going to ask her boss for a sabbatical. A day into partnership, she says, thank you for being a friend. I need a sabbatical. And I'm going to fix this up and I'm going to honor my grandma's legacy. I can't see it go like this. The guy that she talked to while she was changing her tire, he's there. His name is Alec. He helps around the vineyard. He's a handy man. They start hanging out and whatnot and talking about the vineyard, working on the vineyard. Maybe a little flirt fun time. Her friends show up and they're so happy to be there. And they decide that one of them is getting married and they want to have the wedding at the vineyard.
Get out.
So now we kind of have like hey, we have to get this place ready by this date for the wedding. And that inspires them to go around the town and tell people that the vineyard is opening back up for weddings. This is going to be a good money maker. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I saw your face and I got
good.
nervous.
You're good.
So the vineyard
Truly me
is
once again.
the vineyard
He's a
is
bully. I'm just saying he's a bully.
because I was
I
checking
saw
on
your
you.
face. No.
It's right there.
So they're going around town. Everybody's excited that the vineyard's opening back up. But here's the thing: in order to turn this whole thing around, we need money.
Yeah.
And grandma's made this pretty tough because she's mortgaged herself into a real sticky situation. And so she's like doing everything she can. She's selling her car to try to fix up the barn and she's doing all this stuff. And Alec is like, let me help. I love this place and I'm happy to help. And she's like, no, we're not going to do that. Her dad then comes though and is like, hey, I hear you need some money. I have some money and I would like to help because of the way that we left the situation. And your mom actually never really wanted to leave this place and just left for me. So I feel like I owe it to your grandma and to your mom to help you fix this place up. So they're fixing it up. They're having a wonderful time. Her and Alec are just loving life. And she goes up to him and is like, hey, do you want to be partners? And he's like, maybe even partners in life. And absolutely. Cut to, I believe it said a year in the future.
A year and a little bit later.
A year and some change. Those two lovebirds are walking down the aisle at their own vineyard. They get married. They kiss. And that, my friends, was Napa Ever After. Napa know how.
I almost said Napa. No,
That's the name of the movie. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on.
We're just doing 3 segments.
We're doing 3 segments
quick
today.
day.
We're doing 3
breaking
segments
news.
today here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark, the podcast where we break down all your favorites. And we have 3 segments to help us do that. We're going to start with the hot take, and we're going to start with Brian. Brian, what'd you think of this movie? Give us that hot take.
Yeah,
that hot take.
Yeah,
Bring it.
Super hot, like the temperature. So I actually like this movie, and for a mahogany movie, I think it's one of the most memorable. I think it'll stand out for me, and one of my favorites. I think mahogany wise that we've watched. For some, like, it flew by for me. All of a sudden, I had to pause it at one point, and I realized, like, we're like 2/3 of the way through this thing. I didn't see that coming. Like, it kind of was flying by. It was a little choppy. Like the cuts.
Yeah.
Were a little choppy.
Yes.
And some of the, like her flat tire, the mold, all this stuff felt kind of old school. Like, just, oh, let's throw a flat tire. That's how they meet. Like, very low level kind of stuff, but I liked it. Like, it worked. It felt kind of like a throwback in a sense to the way they used to do this stuff. And just the fact, like, the quick cuts and how choppy it was kind of worked for me. I feel like it at a certain point, I felt like this feels like a, like TGIF. Like, the music was kind of like funky. Like, it was moving very fast.
It felt like TGIF,
Yeah,
like the 2-hour block of like
a
tween
show,
programming
like
on
a
ABC
sitcom almost,
on
like
Friday nights.
It felt like it could have been cut into like a sitcom. Like,
the cuts were jarring early.
Yeah. And then
Very
once
jarring.
I got into that, I'm like, okay, this is what we're in for.
Yeah.
And I just felt, I don't know, it felt very natural. And so I kind of liked it. There were 2 things that I was looking for that I didn't get in this, that I was like, oh man, I wish we got this. The first one was, I wanted more behind the scenes vineyard stuff. Like, I want to see how they're running this business. Just how is the operation running?
Ryan.
What it's a natural question.
Just always more logistics with you.
I just want to see, like, how are they doing this? Like, you were in the fields a little bit, but I want to see the trucks taking the wine out. I want to see how they're working the contracts.
Then watch a documentary.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, while I'm watching this, I wanted more info on how they're running the business. And the second was when Alec got cut in to the deal, I thought this is going to be great because she's a real estate lawyer. We're going to get a deal happening. Like, we're gonna I wanted to know, I'm like, I can't wait. She's gonna be ruthless. She's gonna try to cut him like a bad deal. He's got big money. He's gonna see right through that. There's gonna be a good negotiation. We got none of that. So I thought for sure there'd be some conversation about how he's getting cut in equity wise. And we got nothing. So I would have liked some of that. What's the deal here?
I mean, I do have questions about how he just like worked his way into partner of a family-owned vineyard that now he owns some of it. I would agree with you there. I do have some of those questions.
Yeah.
But more like, how do they operate the winery? Ugh.
I was a little curious about it. But other than that, I mean, I had a good time. It flew by. It wasn't super funny, but pretty enjoyable watch for me.
Should be able to.
Ryan was also having
a business.
Ryan was also having a root canal while he was watching it, and so it just
no
flew by for him.
Man, what an interesting take by you. I like this movie fine. Again, most of these movies really comes down to leads and chemistry, and I like these 2 leads. I liked when they were together. Alec at one point had his shirt off. So yeah, I mean, I think what is there not to like about all of that? But I agree with all the things so far. There was a lot of cuts, especially early on. I noticed more of the musical cuts than anything else. Like they would go, like the movie kicks off with this like funky funk and then cuts to classical because we're at a wedding, and it literally just boop, cuts like straight into it, and you're just like, what's happening? And then it's back to the funkies, and then you're in San Francisco, thinking about
San Francisco treats,
thinking about the treats and rice-a-roni and whatnot.
Sure.
And so
Never thought about it until you.
This movie this movie was fine. It's probably going to end up in the standard feels for me, just middle of the road.
Spoiler alert.
I'm just saying where I'm at. I don't know where it's going to end up with the 3 of us battling it out. But yeah, overall, a fine time. Dan?
Yeah, these movies start like as a net bad for me. Like, so a decent one is bad. This is a meh one, which means it's a really terrible movie. Like, I just like really bored. Nothing sticks out about this movie as being unusual or different or inspired. The leads are just, they're fine. The writing's fine. It's just nothing about it sparked any interest. I definitely didn't want more of the winery. It seemed like a path we had trod numerous times in Hallmark movies, and I was really, really bored. It was a tough watch. It wasn't actively bad, but it isn't very memorable. In fact, aside from the fact that it has Napa know-how now attached to it, if you ask me about Napa Ever After in a few months, I'd probably be like, I don't remember which that one.
Napa
was.
know-how. Do you remember that? Napa know-how.
I feel like Unthinkably Good Things is my favorite Mahogany movie. I could be wrong on that. I have to see a list. This was it just didn't stand out in any way, shape, or form. There are some movies that are going to be worse on our ranking list for sure, but this has got to be in the bottom half to me. Like the one where the woman is the song, right? She's trying to find the song.
Oh yeah.
You guys were higher on that one than I was.
It's not it's better than this though, because it's trying something, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. We were in the studio.
This isn't trying.
Studio.
It was tough.
Let's get to all the feels where we talk about what gave us those feels while we were watching this movie. Brian.
Yeah. Early on, I was really concerned about Alex's motivation. I was like, they better explain this pretty well, because this is just very random.
Yes.
Can't just show up and start helping out. And when they explained it that, he went through a tough time and her grandmother really helped him out, and so he feels like indebted, or he feels some sense of pride. But there was something else that happened that they showed briefly that stuck with me about his motivation. It was when they showed his wedding picture at the vineyard, and they never even mentioned that as something that was motivating him. But I took that as, and this really put it over the top. I took that as like, for his wife's memory, he was invested in this place. Like, he wanted to honor her to help take care of this place. And so for me, they didn't even mention this in the movie, but I saw that and I thought, oh, well, clearly he's never going to let this place fall apart. He's obviously going to, if nothing else, like for the memory of his wife and for his daughter to see this place when she grows up and all that stuff. So that actually really worked for me, and it wasn't even something they talked about. It wasn't a discussion point at all, but I just made that all up in my own head, and it worked really well.
So wait, are the feels the things that you made up in your head?
Up in your head?
Yeah. His motive, him being motivated by him being married.
Cool.
There. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. That's a great job, Brian.
Genuine feels.
You went above and beyond there. I don't know if you understood the assignment, but you went above and beyond.
You manifested a feels.
Maybe for you there were only 3 segments, and you just decided on this one. I'm going to take a few plays off.
I really liked the little girl and her grandma early on in this movie. I thought it was really cute, and I'm really like thinking more about this movie. I wish this movie would have utilized flashbacks more of her with her grandma, because I think like her learning lessons about the vineyard from her grandma as a kid, and then being able to put those lessons to work as an adult, I think would have been really great, especially since the little girl and the grandma were so dang cute at the beginning of this movie. So those are my feels, and also a critique. I will give you a feels and raise you a critique. Dan?
We're doing great in the feels today.
There is a dynamic. You guys are crushing it. There is a dynamic in this film that I really, really like, which is the lead character's dad is a lawyer, and she became a lawyer like her dad, even though it was destined for her to take over this winery. And that presents an interesting dynamic where no one's wrong, but everyone has feelings that are strong enough to make them feel that the other is wrong. And so I loved that dynamic. And then they basically just chuck it out the window. They're like, this is fun, isn't it? Let's not. And they just go, and they're just like, she falls in love with the winery anyway. And they had an opportunity, in my opinion, to be like, letting someone live out their dream may not look like what you want it to look like. And they didn't do that. And so we're 0 for 3 on feels.
Yeah,
nice. It's good job clapping there.
Well, it's just snaps. It's just it's
good stuff,
poetry.
isn't it? Amen.
It was poetry. It was art. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with 2.5 other segments on the other side of this break here on Deck the Hallmark.
We're back.
We are back. Welcome. Hope you're doing well here on a Tuesday. Let's get to the Wait What. It's where we talk about what in this movie made us go, wait.
What?
What?
Huh? No way.
What?
Remember when we did that bit for a little bit?
Huh? No way.
The Huh No Way segment?
Brian, let's start with you. What are you waiting on? What are you what?
Early on, somebody threw a package onto her desk, and she looked at it, and she's like, Fink, do we know Fink? And she just dismissed this certified package completely.
Yeah.
I just feel like as a lawyer, you're going to get a lot of things thrown on your desk from people you don't know yet.
Yeah.
And you don't ignore any of them.
Especially certified
A
mail.
certified package, yeah.
Yeah, certified mail. You gotta. There's a lot that happens there. I've sent certified mail before. It was more than I wanted to deal with.
Yeah,
There
it's a little
is
excessive.
no world where she's like, "What is this certified mail? Put it in the junk drawer."
Exactly.
Like
Must have
just-
been a mistake.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah.
I shouldn't open this. It's certified.
That's not even like bad lawyering. That's
Yeah,
just bad like
that's bad
postal
peopling.
recipient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then just the flyer. This sort of fell in the bucket of old school throwback stuff. That just plastering the town with flyers that the
Yeah.
venue is back.
Classic.
It's just like I was trying to come up with a way to bash it, but I'm like, this is just too funny that they're just
Yeah.
and the town is psyched about it. Like, okay.
Yeah. Oh wow! I
That'll
saw the
do it.
flyer. Did you see the
yeah,
flyer?
they're
That's
back.
good.
Did you
Yeah.
hear they're back?
Yeah.
So that was just something that was really funny. And she went to the bank for a loan, and this just annoyed me. She went to the bank for the loan, didn't get the loan. Alec offered her money. She said no. Then her dad offered her money, and she took it. And then she worked it out with Alec that he's going to invest. Like, the whole time I'm thinking, he's obviously going to invest in this vineyard. Like, when is this going to... Why would she just be so against it?
There
was no reason for
There's
her.
a whole she does a whole thing about like she doesn't need any help. She doesn't give a big
but
speech
such
about
a weak
that.
when it's different when you're like, listen, I'm not trying to help. I want something out of this.
That's right.
Like, I'm
Exactly.
an investor. I'm going to give you money. You're going to give me ownership, and that's how this works.
My question with that was not about that. It was about how exactly, and maybe this is what the Hallmark, but how did the grandma have it mortgaged to the hilt when she still stands to make a profit off of the sale?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't the way he explains it is I got a buyer,
Yeah.
and if you can sell it to them, it'll cover all the mortgages and a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
In your pocket.
Can't have both
That
there,
means
yeah.
that you're not mortgaged to the hilt.
Yeah.
That means there's some meat left on
Like,
that
usually
bone.
you can pull money out if there's like a percentage.
10 or 20%.
Yeah. And but even that doesn't sound like a big chunk.
But
that's not a
because
big
that
one.
covers closing.
Chunk.
It
Yeah.
does. It's nothing.
Yeah.
If he says you're going to sell this land and walk away with money a lot of money in your
Yeah,
pocket,
right.
then you can mortgage it again. The bank would gladly let
Yeah.
you remortgage it.
I think it was the improvements they were saying was what set it.
But he just called and he's just like, I gotta. But
Yeah.
like,
He started out, I think, with saying we've seen the place is looking great, but
Yeah.
still, like just slapping some paint on it
Yeah,
is not going to
I
increase
just
the
don't.
value.
That was a weird. You can't have it both ways there.
That's true. That's
So
true.
there's that.
Yeah, and just they're just still using cork. Like I don't think anybody still really uses cork.
No.
Like, it's just
No.
too expensive, and you got to go twist off. Go ahead, Bran.
Gotta go twist off.
Yeah, you
On the
got to go
wine.
twist. Yeah, for the wine
Twist
bottle.
off is now acceptable for wine bottles. That
Oh,
does
yeah.
not
I still
signify.
open up cork all the time.
Yeah, I
But,
understand.
but if you're trying, I think
But,
it's
like,
cheaper to do twist off.
it
too.
is cheaper
Oh,
to
no,
do
I'm
twist
sure.
off.
Yeah.
Like I like a twist off more. Than
I
a
thought
cork.
you were saying that no one does cork anymore.
No, you
No,
can still do cork.
If you're
but-
redesigning your bottle and
Yeah,
you're trying to
let's
save
just-
money,
Yeah, go to
it is
the-
now acceptable. It used to be like, oh, that's a barefoot $5 bottle of wine,
Right.
but now like
Not
it's
anymore.
acceptable for
Not
people
anymore.
to do twist off.
I got a few. One, apparently grandma before her death was going around telling everybody, quote, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is a rule, everybody. If somebody says they're fine 3 times,
Yes.
they're not fine.
Yeah.
You check on them. It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Definitely not fine. If she were to say, "I'm fine," okay, maybe. She's dribbling down. You got to be careful. You got to be
Her
careful with that.
Grandma's friend is like, she'd say what she always said to us.
Right.
Which is, it's fine, I'm fine,
It's fine.
everything's fine.
That's what she would
If
always
she's
say.
repeating, it's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine.
not
There's
fine.
no, you're
She's definitely not
fine.
fine.
You're losing it.
She's
yeah.
definitely
That
not
is the
fine.
top way to know that someone's not fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is if they
Yeah,
have to
you do
say
one
it
of
to you
these,
3
like-
times. Yeah. You hear that? It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine over here. Look out.
That's what she always said.
It's fine. I'm fine.
We,
Everything's fine. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
We put it on a shirt. She says it so much. That's Grandma shirt. Listen, they do a thing here, and it's funny, ha-has, I love it, where she goes out and she's working in the vineyard, and she comes back and she's got like a stick in her hair, and it's big funny. She also has her bottom button buttoned into her top button hole. Nice. And I'm here to say, I don't care how hard you've been working. You don't stumble into bottom button top hole. You don't stumble into that. That's not something that happens with hard work. The harder you work, the more the buttons work their way up.
Things are getting out of hand. Let me button my top button with my bot. Like you don't
the more I found somehow my buttons just kept moving up, and I don't
just
know.
One of them.
I don't know how it happened. They go out for a double date situation, and they want you to think they're drinking beer, and I don't drink beer, but I know lukewarm tea when I see it, and that's what that is. Yes. That is tea. That is definitely not beer. Last but not least, there's an event, I think a little birthday party, and I'm offended at the popcorn servings. I understand it's a little girl's birthday party, but if I'm at that party chaperoning, give me a big old thing of popcorn. Don't put it in a little cup like that. What are we doing? I understand that that the times are tough out there. Just a little, maybe even just a normal size cup. This is a little dinker. This is like a daisy cup. That's not going to go anywhere.
Pieces of popcorn.
That's not going to go anywhere. Dan?
You took two of my big ones, especially it's fine, I'm fine,
everything's
everything's
for
fine.
butter on that popcorn.
Yeah, you could
probably.
Listen,
oh my
we're
gosh.
not, but don't you dare. We're still the United States last time I checked. This is the best boss ever. Ever.
Yep.
First of all, she brings her in and she's like, you made partner. The judge ruled in our favor. You're amazing. You're awesome. A lot of encouragement. That's one. That great boss. Two, it's like, my grandma died. You just made partner. My grandma died. I got to go out of town. You take your time. Great boss. I'm just going to be gone 3 days. No. Family's more important. You take your time. This boss is through the roof great. And then 1 day into making partner, can I take a 6-month sabbatical? You betcha.
Yeah,
you bet you can.
Anything
this
else?
boss is going for boss of the century over here. Like, what in the world? If you made somebody partner and they're like, can I have 6 months off? At that point, I'm even going like, no. They're just like, you have to do the job. You can't possibly do that. Not this boss. She's above and beyond. It's very, very impressive. They play one 90s song at this club so they can say it was 90s night. Literally nothing else about this club is 90s night. Nothing. The way people are dressed, the way it's decorated, nothing. Why did they do that? Why say it's 90s night? You can still play that song and dance to it and just say it's let's go out on a date. No one.
It doesn't have to be 90s.
Why
Happy
set it
fun
up
time
with
night.
this 90s night? They literally put the ball in the tee. They're like, you guys want to go to the club tonight? It's 90s night. So there's an anticipation that you get there and there's 90s stuff.
What's the point of 90s night if you're not going to 90 garb it up?
That's right.
You gotta wear the 90s garbs.
And to not even throw one Chumbawamba out there, not a single.
Could you imagine if we got back-to-back weeks of
back-to-back
Chumbawamba?
Wombas? Unbelievable. I saw back-to-back Wombas
I
live.
bet you did.
How were they?
They were so good.
Yeah?
It's two dueling
man.
Chumbawamba cover bands.
Wow. They
So
face each other
they
on
do, and They
stage?
take turns with voices. It gets intense.
Wow.
Man.
It's fantastic.
I feel like at the end of the night they
Unbelievable.
might come together
Yeah.
and just one massive.
One massive Wumba.
They do
I saw
other-
them live as well.
Do they do other songs other than Tub Thumping?
Yeah, they do all the hits.
All the hits from the Tub Thumper album?
All the hits from Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
You know this.
I know.
We played this game before in my car where I read you tracks and we played other Chumbawamba songs and
Yeah.
tried to be like, wow, I can't believe that's still a thing.
Yeah.
And then if we could have gotten this dude, is his name Alex? Is that the guy?
Alec.
Alec, excuse me. If we could have gotten Alec a hat that was actually old, that would have been awesome. They get him a hat that's brand new but frayed everywhere, and they want you to think that it's old. And that guy working in the fields would never, ever, ever wear that hat. unless he wanted to be made fun of. He would never wear it. And it just didn't make any sense at all. And that's all I've got.
It's time for What the Hallmark. It's where we wonder what could have been, maybe happen, give some clarity to any questions that we still have. Brian, have any questions been keeping you up at night since you've seen this?
Yeah, my big question first I was wondering, is something wrong with Isabel's tea? Because every time she serves tea, the cups just sit there untouched. Nobody drinks her tea.
Nobody drinks the tea.
Cute teacup stuff.
Yeah, very. But the big one was like, what did her grandmother expect her to do in the situation? She leaves her this place. She knows it's almost
Mortgage to the hilt.
underwater. Yeah,
That's right.
I think the grandmother would have been pretty okay with her just selling the place and not dealing with it. Like she had to take a sabbatical from her job, sell her car, like uproot her whole life, go stress herself out to the max. I just can't.
It's weird
imagine.
she didn't leave a letter or something like that explains like what she wants.
That's also mine. And this is going to sound very morbid, but I just want to know how the grandmother died, because it seems like
she was fine. I heard
it was very, very sudden.
Everything was fine.
Ears were burning.
And if it's very sudden, then the reaction on the phone doesn't make any sense. But if it wasn't sudden, then how do we not have something in place to explain, I'm leaving you a money pit, just a full on, you're not going to make money with this. There's no money left in it. I did it for you situation.
Yep.
Especially when she says at the beginning, this is all going to be yours. Like at least intonating that I want you to keep it. It just doesn't, that did not make a lot of sense. And a lot of thought I don't feel like was put into it is all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, Brian.
I mean, I guess I want, like, this seems like a vineyard that is more of a wedding venue than a
vineyard.
A vineyard.
Yes.
Like we do very little wine talk.
Correct.
Which was surprising to me.
This is what I was saying.
So,
I wanted more wine talk.
I don't want more wine
You
talk.
wanted to see him go out with the trucks. You didn't
Yeah,
see you wanted more wine
about
talk.
the
But
vineyard, like, how
typically
does it
when we're
operate?
on a vineyard, there's like a good bit of like wine tasting and like doing things for the wine business. And this whole movie was more about, let's fix this place up to make the wedding venue a thing again.
And when they did taste, they went like downtown to taste.
Yeah,
They
so
never really
I
tasted
do
it.
want to know like what the breakdown of this business is, like how much
you
of it
do.
is.
You want some operational info, huh?
No. There is a difference. I would have been okay with more wine tasting.
I would like there
That's
to be
not what you said.
something in this movie that proves that this vineyard does wine, aside from seeing the.
Occasionally somebody's like, your parents' wine or your grandma's wine's the best wine in the world. They'll say that. That's all you get.
There's just a weirdly a lack of wine in this movie. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
More of a renovation.
That's all I'm saying. We did, everybody. Congratulations. We do have Panda, who's coming around the corner right now for the double decker of the
get
week.
in
So
here,
come on
big
in, buddy.
guy.
Roll that music.
Double decker of the week.
Ho ho ho.
Oh, man. Christmas in August.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome back. Another double decker of the week. Panda is here to dive deep into the life of one of the double deckers that have signed up at Brentwood Gen Plus at a double decker tier or higher. Dan, who
We
do we
got
have?
Christina Dexter. Christina Dexter this week.
Oh, Christina Dexter. Tech Wizard.
Wow.
Tech Wizard, yeah.
Tech Wizard.
Heard that about her.
With the Whiz Kid.
Yeah,
Wizard skills.
Several years ago, she had an epiphany. And
Great.
it was, do you guys remember those big mouth bass thing that you could
Rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling on the river.
And she was
Here's a
enamored
little
by it.
song I wrote. But one singing
note for note. Don't worry.
Be happy.
Yeah. She would give those as gifts to everyone.
I don't think Rolling to the River is one of the songs. I want to be very clear.
No, I thought it was.
Take Me to the River is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Take me to the river.
Rolling.
Put me in the water.
Rolling.
You got one of the special ones. We don't have time. We're up against it. Go
We're
ahead.
up against
Yeah.
it. Anyway, she used to give those as gifts, but you know what? You don't see them anymore. And that made her sad.
They were everywhere for a
They
while.
were everywhere for a while.
I would like a deep dive on those and what happened to them. But
I would-
anyway,
I would
Well,
love
what
to
a
know
time it was.
It was a time.
so she gave
said-
them to everybody.
Well, she gave them to everybody. She goes, "What if we took them to the next level? What if we took them to the next level?" And the next one, she's designed it, she's marketed it, and it's called the iCod.
The iCod?
Yeah.
What's it kind of do?
It's basically same as it's a cod because basses are
More or less cods.
They're licensed, but this is up on.
Did she like work Siri
You
into?
see, Brand, here's what happened.
What happened?
He thought it would be funny if he got a different fish, and he had the word icod, and he was like, "What can I do with this?"
But did they like work?
I didn't do anything.
No,
I wanted Christina.
of course.
Did Christina like work Siri into the
Yeah,
cod?
and so you just carry it around, you hit the little button,
And then you ask it anything?
Yeah, ask anything.
Wow.
The iCod.
So it's basically like an iPod, but a giant fish.
Yeah.
All right.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
So wait,
It does not sound like this is
but
made
I
by a tech
thought
wizard.
she just took all the old bass. She's just
No, you
calling
can't-
them
no,
cods
she's
now?
doing
No,
a
you
new
can't.
thing.
You
So
can't.
she started a whole new thing.
It's a whole new thing. You
Got
can't the bass. You can't market bass.
Big
I
Mouth
thought
Billy
you
bass.
said she
Yeah,
bought
they've
a
been
bunch.
trademarked.
We could get in trouble just saying
I
that.
thought you said she bought a bunch of them and
No,
decided
Well,
to
she
take them to the
did back
next
in the
level.
day.
I
You
see.
gave them away as
Yeah, it was gifts.
If you knew Christina, you were getting a big mouse, big mouse,
Big Mouse Mass.
big mouse bass.
What
is
are
very
you?
different.
Yeah. More than fair. All right. Well, I hope to get one soon, Christina. Back to you guys. Wow.
Can't all be winners,
Thanks,
can they?
Panda. Have a good one, buddy. We're going to be back tomorrow with the September preview show. 9 movies we got to preview tomorrow.
We're doing what?
9
know that.
movies. 9 movies. And that's in one month. That's why we can't
30
do.
days, half September. There's no way.
We need
It's a
to.
movie every 3 days,
Double
Brand.
up.
I know.
No.
Are you serious?
9
No, I
movies.
don't have time for this.
No, no.
9 movies. We'll do it tomorrow. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.